Are you looking to take your kids on a cruise? Watch this video for a few tips. This video is going to start with some general tips for cruising with kids. If you want specific information from specific cruise lines, I will have the links to those below. I'll start with the youngest to the oldest. First of all, if you're pregnant, 24 weeks and above, you cannot sail on most cruise lines. Don't get upset, it's a safety issue. If the emergency were to happen, they're not properly equipped for it. Same thing with newborn babies. 6 months and less, they typically don't let on a cruise line. It's a safety thing. But if your kid is over 6 months old, here are some other things to consider. Most cruise lines have activities from 6 months on up. If you still have a newborn, you're still on the lower end, be sure to bring diapers aboard. Being sure to bring baby powder, baby wipes. These are not typically sold on any cruise lines. So be prepared for that. And most cruise lines, if your baby is not potty trained, they're not allowed in the pools, with one notable exception you will find out in one of my other videos. Distilled water, for those who are on formula, typically is sold as an extra charge or maybe free depending on what cruise line you're on. So be sure to ask that. So when it comes to kid-friendly activities, they always have some kind of kids club. So something for maybe 6 months up to 2 years, a specific nursery for that. Maybe something from about 4 to 6 years. It's different age groups for different cruise lines, but they're all age specific and appropriate activities. So you're not going to see a 4-year-old baby playing with a teenager. It just doesn't happen. They have different rooms for each child in different parts of the ship. So with your younger kids, maybe 5, 6 years old, they're going to be around similar age children, and they have a lot of arts and craft activities, maybe something for them to actually participate in. And during the day, these activities are usually free. There are some other activities that are an extra charge, like on Carnival, the Dr. Seuss breakfast. They have a parade for free, but there's a Dr. Seuss breakfast that's an extra charge, which I recommend. Even as an adult, I loved it. I still do. I still go to it. Yes, maybe a little funny me seeing me there, but my sister loves it. I love it. We all love it. And on my next cruise I want to take my kids on, I know they're going to love it too. And simply a late night babysitting, they do offer that on most cruise lines. Those are an extra fee. But pretty much everything else during the day, it is free. It's no extra charge. It's complimentary with the cruise. And when you get to some of the older kids clubs as well, they're going to have gaming consoles in there too. So I think last time I was on a cruise, there was a PlayStation in there. So on top of the activities that they put on for the kids, maybe some dance parties, maybe some arts and crafts, maybe some cool little, the cool activities, they also have game systems. So they be gaming against each other. So it's a lot of fun. They really do try to make this as enjoyable as possible for any age group. And there's a hard cutoff for 18 years old. So you're not going to have someone who's 18 in these clubs just because now they're an adult. They can do plenty of other activities around the ship. Like there's an arcade on most ships. There's pools they could play in. There's simply some kind of water slide. There's basketball. Pretty much every cruise line have those, at least those amenities on the ship. So aside from the kids clubs, there's plenty of other to enjoy as a kid. I pretty much grew up on a cruise ship. Every other year my dad would take me on a cruise, and I grew up at these kids clubs. They were a lot of fun. They're a good way to meet people. Maybe you'll make a friend in one of those kids clubs and you'll go hang out at the pool later, or maybe go play basketball with each other later at the court. So it's a lot of fun. So if you're looking to take a kid on a cruise, don't worry about them being bored. If you're someone who's hey, I don't want to take a kid aboard because I want to be able to party at night. Well, they do typically have some kind of daycare system late night. So be sure to check the details on the cruise line that fits you and a specific ship. Personally, I think it's fun to bring all the family aboard. If you have a newborn baby, kind of lower end, that's kind of more of a personal decision. There's plenty of people who are on cruise ships with 1-year-olds on the ship. Personally, I wouldn't take a 1-year-old going to the ship, but I would take a 5-6-year-old. So it kind of it's personal preference, but no matter what, like there's plenty for the kids to do. They will be entertained. They won't be bored. So if you want more details on a specific ship, be sure to follow the link down below for all the cruise lines that I have done so far.